Today is the 22nd of December 2020, and I feel I need to speak openly about the things that I see in the future. Firstly, I just want to say that I'm so grateful for this life and for the beautiful potential that we have as a human race to really wake up and live in grace. All we need to do is firstly know where our no is. We find that boundary and we say, no, I do not serve man. I serve my Creator and his or its universal law of love and do no harm. So what I've noticed over the past 50 years of my life, soon to be 60 years in fact, is that as one has a feeling or a sense of something in spirit, it takes usually about 3 weeks for it to physically manifest on the planet, in actuality, in our reality. So as we speak, it comes into being, and our genesis or neurogenesis happens every day as we speak life into being, as we speak our life and others' lives into being. So the power of life and death really is held in the tongue, and we really need to know how to use that rudder to steer this vessel, our bodies, our minds and souls and spirits, in the right direction. That which you focus your attention on becomes your reality. So if you're constantly focusing your attention on what is happening as a latent effect of what has already been conceived in spirit, then you are focusing on the past and you are not creating your future. As a human spirit, as a being, as an incredible potential, it's so important now to know the power of God within you so that you really can start to create a beautiful future without this contamination, this mental and spiritual virus, which is now, I believe, diminishing as people have their rude awakening into what actually has the apparency of manifesting in the physical forms that we see in front of us. But what we really need to know is that everything is mutable, everything can be changed for the better. And what is better? What is our definition of better? We have to understand what better is before we can manifest better. Better is love, truth, wisdom, understanding, real compassion, forgiveness, long-suffering, and all the fruits of the Spirit. It makes no difference who you are and which way you come to God. If you call it God, if you call God him or her or he, she or shim or whatever you want to call God, it makes no difference. God doesn't have a sex. But however you want to anthropomorphize it into your 3 dimensions or 4 dimensions so that you can comprehend what is and the potentiality of what could be. My thoughts are these, and my visions are these, is that in the next 3 weeks we will see the spiritual manifestation in the physical plane of what has already taken place in spirit, which is complete breakthrough. There has been a shift, like it or not, and goodness and love and light and all the beautiful things shall and will forever prevail. It's really, really important to take the knowledge that you have and use it as a stepping stone to greater awareness and compassion and faith and hope and creation of a future which is based on the precepts of love rather than deception, lies, fear, and all of those things which are constantly emanating from those who are most afraid. It's really important for us to know that we can love each other in spite of our differences. It's really important to know what's happened. It's important to know what's happened to our spirits and souls as they are trying to claim something which is unclaimable. We are sovereign beings, and this time, in about a month, in about 3 weeks to a month, we will start to see the physical manifestations of all of us sovereign beings moving forward, or have the apparency of motion, moving forward into a year where they thought the predestined or the predestination was destruction, control, strife, violence. No. Know where your no is. Know where to say no. Know how to just simply say no. You can say it quietly or you can roar it, but your voice is important. Just say no. No. It's quite easy. No. No thanks. No, I'm not taking the vaccination. No. So when you have a moment, if you're living in a tower block in London or New York, or you're living in a tiny house in the middle of a field or a caravan or a room, if you're alone or if you're with people, if you have family or if you have none, I see that this awakening, this enormous awakening, global awakening, is going to and is causing, in this present moment, people to really realize that they can visualize and see their own future and bring it into being, knowing the power of their own minds. The future of this planet is dependent on us, each and every individual, working together collectively to visualize the kind of future that we all want and need. I see that we are doing that now, that we are already going to that inner place, that secret place within us. And whether it's through declaring or visualizing or kinesthetically feeling or just being or whatever method, through prayer, intercession, or through meditation, guided visualizations, we are all doing it now. The result will be seen in about 3 weeks to a month. And that's just the beginning. As we all come to realize this incredible power, the God I am presence within each one of us, the presence of God within each one of us that can move mountains, emotional mountains, spiritual mountains. We can, and we are. And the future is beautiful. For those who are not as awakened yet, they will be. And once the shock to the system, once the scales have come off people's eyes and they see the devastation that is trying to manifest, they will see and they will know the power of their own voice, the power of their yes and their no, the power of the visualizing tool that we have, our beautiful, beautiful brains, our Garden of Eden, our pineal and pituitary glands working in unison with each other. That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. You can call it the unified field. You can call it collective consciousness. If you're into Jung, you can call it what you like. But that's what it is. It's our spirit, our human spirit. And good shall always prevail. And is prevailing. It's through the grace of love of God that we are still here. And God within us, that grace within us, that forgiveness of ourselves and other people. As we come out of ignorance, as we come out of the corporations, the companies that have been set before us, the illusion, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, Maya, if you're Buddhist. It's the same thing. We have everything we need within us. And now people are awakening to that fact. So, let's watch the manifestation of our beautiful dreams and visions of a future where there is freedom. Freedom to travel, freedom to greet people, freedom to be educated properly without being dumbed down, freedom from legislation and maritime law, freedom to be who we are, freedom to love, freedom to share, freedom to say no. We're not having any more child trafficking, thanks. And by the way, you don't qualify to govern me, Mr. President or Mr. Prime Minister or Mrs. whoever. No. Watch the uprising. The rising and raising up of the human spirit out of victim consciousness, out of being bullied. No. So, I wish you every blessing for this new year, because blessings and more blessings and more blessings, because the storehouse is never empty. An infinite storehouse of blessings be upon you and your loved ones and all people. Amen.